now tonight, 5 receptions. He will pass everyone in terms of all-time receptions except Charlie Joyner and Charlie Taylor. Of course, Joyner is still going strong with San Diego. Yet he's had a remarkable career. 3rd down and 3. Dornick struggling, trying to get the first down in the arms of Mike Wilcher. I think he has it.
Robert Pratt did a super job, 61, coming out there, and he made a nice tackle on, I should say block on Wilcher. If the receiver would have just stayed outside, he would have gotten the first down easily. Wilcher made the tackle while he was laying on his back.
Wilcher, of course, filling in for George Andrews, who was on the injured reserve for the Rams. He did a good job. He did a good job a year ago when Andrews was injured. Here comes the measurement. Crowd will let you know, won't it? A reminder later tonight on Nightline, the latest on the earthquake live from Mexico City, plus the sinking of the Greenpeace nuclear protest ship. France admits doing it. How high will the scandal go? That, of course, tonight on Nightline, immediately following your late local news. 11:35, the clock is ticking away here in the final quarter. Rams over Seattle, 21-10. Seattle on the move. They have the ball at the 42-yard line. 1st down and 10. 42-yard line of the Rams. Darrell Turner flip to the right. Largent to the left. Blitz is on. Seahawks pick it up, and Turner again, another drop ball for Seattle, and he would have had another Seattle first down. And not sure he was in the right pattern because he was side by side with Charlie Young.
And again, that's right. Dave Krieg did not want to throw the ball in that area. He was looking downfield to his left for Largent, but he was covered, and so he came back, and there was another drop pass, as we mentioned.
We've said it over and over. This Ram defense has played it really tough tonight. They're getting good coverage downfield. Gary Green in one corner, Irvin on the other. Johnson and Cromwell, the safeties. And then they bring in Eric Harris and Newsom on sure pass. And they've done a good job covering these Seahawk receivers. 2nd and 10. Largent downfield. No. He says he got it. They're saying it's incomplete. Cromwell was covering. Largent was really exercised, as is Krieg. Largent was convinced he had it. They're saying incomplete. We'll look at it from the reverse angle. A little wide on the shot, but I think you'll see it. Never controlled it. Incomplete. Largent's been around a while. He's pretty foxy. He tried to make it look good and hoping that the hometown crowd would help him out. It didn't. It's 3rd down and 10. Dornick is in there, number 33. They've used him very effectively out of the backfield on 3rd and long situations. Krieg, Largent, short of the first down. Mike Wilcher again with a good tackle, along with Leroy Irvin. And his 4th down. Decision time for Chuck Knox, and Largent is shaken up.
Plenty of time in this game, but the way the Rams have been playing defense, the Seahawks hasn't been in this territory too often. If I would think it's conservative if Chuck Knox is, I would still go for it right now.
I'd go for it, too, because the Seahawks are playing good defense at this point, and even if they don't make it, I think they'll stop the Rams again.
There is a hushed concern in this stadium about this man, Steve Largent. He has been one of the real stalwarts in the entire history of this franchise. He came to them in 1976 when they received the expansion franchise. And they continue to work on it, obviously painfully injured Steve Largent. Shaken up, obviously. They were looking at his left knee. Here's the replay. Largent gets the ball, comes up short of the first down. As you can see, falling on that left knee was Mike Wilcher. And I think, if anything, Largent might have been a little frightened. You've been around this game long enough, as O.J. commented while we were away. You're going to get a knee sooner or later. Largent has seen so many of them this time. He was here in the opening game against Cleveland a year ago when Kurt Warner went down. Which is something that football players live with. sadly. As Vince Lombardi used to say, it's always the knee, the knee, the knee. As I mentioned, Largent short of the first down. The offensive unit stays on the field. It's 4th down and 3. 10:40 and the clock is moving. Seattle down 21-10. Krieg, first down and more. Byron Walker. And Walker inside the 20. And that will spark the Seahawks. Without Steve Largent, Krieg has a lot of confidence in Byron Walker. He had Dornick. He had the tight end Charlie Young. He chose to go to Walker, a free agent who joined these Seahawks in 1982. Had 2 receptions in the first 2 games. Seattle keeps it alive near the 18-yard line of the Rams. Krieg wants to change it up. He moves Dave Hughes. Out of time. And we'll say that Dave Krieg was throwing that out of bounds. Everyone covered deep downfield. Baseball note. Mets beat the Phils tonight. The Cardinals beat Pittsburgh. So the Mets remain 3 games out. Trailing the Cards.
But thus far, it hasn't reflected itself on the scoreboard, but this Seahawk offensive line has really gotten their act together after giving up 4 sacks in the first half. They've been doing a super job of protecting Krieg in this half.
Yes, they have. You know, I'm curious, too. I haven't seen a draw or a screen pass being run here in a good while.
2nd and 10 near the 18-yard line of the Rams. Walker struggles inside the 15. Gary Green defensively there. Gain of 5. Make it 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. We hark back to the 1979 game in which the Rams came up here and the entire offensive output of the Seattle Seahawks was -7 yards.
You know, that last play, Byron Walker lined up in the backfield and came out as a receiver. Looked like a running back.
3rd and 6. And the 33 is Dornick. He's worked well. This is a play designed. Krieg has a first down with the 5-yard line.
Well, that's just what Joe Namath was just talking about. It wasn't a conventional draw play, but it was a quarterback draw play. It was designed just as it ran. So he ran it.
DeJournay had to fall off from the nose tackle position to make the stop.
Well, O.J. called it right. This is a quarterback draw. It's designed to go this way all the way, and they were successful with it. Good going, Dave.
Without DeJournay falling off from nose tackle, Krieg would have been in the end zone. In any event, it's first down, goal to go at the 6-yard line. Krieg buying time, directing traffic. He'll go down. And he tries to get it in the direction of Warner, but he was down.
In the grass.
They will move it all the way back to the 14-yard line. That's a tough play. Krieg should have gotten rid of that.
We saw a graphic earlier that this Seahawk team hasn't scored a touchdown against this Ram defense in 11 quarters. Don't forget the 7 points that were scored tonight was scored by the Seahawks defense.
Dave Brown on the interception of Dieter Brock. 3rd down now and goal to go. And the Hawks are back at the 13-yard line. Or 2nd down, goal to go. This drive started at the Seahawks 20-yard line. Krieg coming down with it, the tight end, Charlie Young. And the Seahawks get it back inside the 5. And now they deal with the 3rd down, goal to go near the 3-yard line and against a very tough Ram defense.
I asked Chuck Knox about Charlie Young earlier today. I said, my goodness, Charlie's been playing a long time now. Chuck Knox says, well, Charlie is as good as ever. He's catching the ball and he's blocking. Now, I don't know that he's as good as he's ever been, but he sure did make a nice catch that last play.
The other tight end is in, Mike Tice. He's 6'7", a 250-pounder, number 86. They'll need to put it in the air. Krieg. A tried to get it to Tice. He's the big one we spoke of a moment ago. And now it's 4th down. There he is, former quarterback at Maryland. 6'7". They put it up high, and it could not have been thrown better. The only thing that Krieg could have done was help him catch it. On 4th down. 4th down, goal to go. Clock stopped at 6:56 remaining in the game. We understand that Steve Largent has a fractured finger and a bruised knee. 4th down, Krieg bobbles it. That ball's free. Krieg gets it back, looks in the end zone, wide open. Oh, unbelievable! Wow, Danny Green. Largent lost it. A Ram had it. A Ram could have fallen on it. It bounced into the hands of Krieg. And what a cool cucumber Dave Krieg is. John Robinson has to be thinking, this would never happen to me at USC. Great play by Krieg. Kept it cool, found his receiver. Norm Johnson adds the conversion. And we have a 4-point ball game. Take a look at it again. A Ram had an opportunity. Number 22. Vince Newsom could have picked it up. He bounced into Craig's arm, and can't say enough for him keeping his cool. Danny Green, the rookie from Washington. 21-17. We'll be back. Still deafening here in the Kingdome in Seattle. White and Kane are deep for the Rams. Lynn Kane again stays in the end zone. Norm Johnson hangs it high. And there's the rookie who played his collegiate football right here at the University of Washington, Danny Green. And the man who kept his cool, Dave Krieg. Perfect snap to him, by the way. He just bobbled it. Look at the hit him right in the hand, Joe.
Yeah, this is really going from a goat to a hero. The ball takes a nice bounce for Dave right here, and he has the presence to keep his cool and find the receiver downfield, Danny Green.
And someone will remind Vince Newsom, the Ram, who could have recovered it, next time fall on it. At the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, the Rams. Dickerson.
Dickerson.
Terry Taylor runs Dickerson down. There have not been many defensive backs to do that. It looked like he might break that one off. He does, however, take it 43 yards to the 37-yard line.
It's a little I formation counter. He picked up some good blocking on that right side of that Ram line. And it was just a matter of Eric doing what he does best. So don't forget about me.
Terry Taylor still hasn't got Dickerson down. Barry Redden comes in. Barry Redden looked so good in preseason, only to sprain an ankle rather severely, and turn that tailback job over to Charles White while Dickerson was in his holdout. This is Redden. And Redden inside the 35, a gain of 4. That was Charles White, rather.
That was a nifty bit of running for Charles. Could have been dropped for a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Charles, I understand, is getting ready to be a father again for the 4th time. Good luck, Charles, and Mrs. White.
Had a big day at Philadelphia last Sunday. 144 yards. That's the time remaining in the game. Rams are up by 4. 21-17. 2nd down and 6. Dickerson. Good tackle. Joe Nash. Pro Bowl nose tackle. Tackling on Dickerson. And Michael Jackson. He with the 2 gloves. 3rd down now and 4. They are in field goal range for Lansford. who is not known as a long kicker. It would be about a 47-yard field goal attempt. 3rd and 4. I do not see a flag, but yeah, the flag is down deep. Could be delay a game. Yes, 30-second clock had run out. Now they will be, I think, really testing Lansford if they decide to go with the field goal, as they'll walk off 5.
Delay number 5. 3rd down.
Oh, that really hurts the Rams, because they were within field goal range for Mike Lansford, who in his career in 4 years his long field goal is 50 yards. He would be beyond that at this point. 3rd and 9. Peter Brock. Oh, Michael Young, the rookie from UCLA, almost breaks it for 6, but he does get the first down inside the 25.
That was a bad choice by Dave Brown, the cornerback. He picked one off and scored earlier. I think he was thinking about that on that play. If he'd have went for it with one hand, I think he could have easily knocked it down. Instead, he went for the interception. See, he could have stuck that arm out and knocked that ball down.
And a good effort by Michael Young to get the first down inside the 25-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. Dickerson. Oh. Dickerson dropped by Freddie Young. Almost broke that one.
Looks like he may have twisted his ankle somewhat, but he's up and walking. Let's take a look at him. See what they were doing earlier. They were playing the run. Now they're playing the pass. It's giving the Rams a little more room. And when you give Eric this much room, big Bill Bain in front there, number 62, you're in trouble.
Fred Young holding on, but not until Dickerson gets 9 yards. It's 2nd down and 1. He's been in the Rams practice sessions only 9 days. Only worked this past week. First major contact after a 46-day holdout. Eric, and he's going to take it in.
They
Eric
only
the
get
Great.
better. The great ones will always get better as the game goes on. I didn't think Eric would be in condition to be this dominant here in the 4th quarter. But I think it was apparent that this Seahawks team is playing pass at this point. There's a little counter from the eye, one of their favorite plays, and Eric basically just picks his way, and because he has that overdrive speed, you'd be surprised how many backs couldn't get outside on this play. It's easy for Eric.
It muffled this sellout crowd, I can tell you that for sure. Eric now 27 attempts, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's only worked a week. So a lot of the Ram opponents looking on tonight, well, he's back. And you're going to have to contend with him. Rams will be at Anaheim next Sunday for Atlanta. Seattle will play at Kansas City, and there's Eric Dickerson. Being congratulated by his teammates. And I think, considering the negative aspects of that holdout, or what could have been, OJ, and you touched on it last week, as did Eric in our interview when we were up in Minneapolis, the Ram organization and the players handled it rather well.
Well, Eric
No
is
acrimony.
he's a very likable guy. And he's been very popular with the other players on the team. And he did what he had to do, and they've worked it out now. And it appears as if it hasn't hurt this team. They look like they're going to be 3-0 when this is over. I think Eric's layoff is going to, may show a little more in the 2nd and 3rd game of the year when those legs go dead on you.
Well, the man he's pursuing at the moment, James Wilder of Tampa Bay, leading the league after 3 games of 393 yards.
And don't think for a minute he's not thinking about that. He's led the league in rushing 2 years in a row. I think only Earl Campbell and the big Jim Brown, who had led it 5 years in a row, the only guys who come into the league doing that right away.
We know what he's done in the last 2 years, but prior to coming to the Rams, he rushed for over 4,400 yards at SMU. Nearly 9,000 yards in 6 years. This is Randall Morris. And Morris out to the 23-yard line. Seattle has 3:24 to get back into it. This week on ABC Sunday Afternoon Baseball, you'll see the Kansas City Royals take on the Minnesota Twins as the Royals continue their fight for the top of the American League West. And as division races continue to develop, ABC Sports may bring you a key game in the National League East or the American League West. Check for the game and the time in your area this Sunday right here on ABC Sports. And of course later in October, the World Series right here on ABC. Dave Krieg probably thinking we'd better get one big one quick. The man to do it is Darryl Turner. This is Byron Walker. The ball is loose.
Now
and the Rams have it back.
That was a design play. He was supposed to flick the ball back to number 33. The play would have worked perfectly if the receiver hadn't have been hit. But he had his hands. He couldn't free his hands. He was trying to throw it to Dan Dornick, number 33, coming around. Unfortunately, he didn't get the ball to Dornick. Little flea flicker.
Byron Walker is there. He was trying to get it back to Dornick.
Now, perfectly executed play. Now, he is supposed to flick the ball back to 33.
Gary Green, however, broke that up. And Jim Collins makes the recovery. The Rams, good field position once again. Inside the 37-yard line of Seattle.
I'm not too sure I'd have Eric in the game at this point with the lead and only 3 minutes left.
Hey, when you're hot, you're hot.
And tries to bring it back inside the 35-yard line. A gain of a couple. Fred Young defensively there, playing for an injured Shelton Robinson, made the stop.
Plus, they got to play him in shape. The only way he's going to get in shape now is to play. And that may be one of the reasons he's in the game now.
We saw on the sidelines, he is very close to his mother down in Texas. And I think she had anticipated his being there for her birthday coming up. And she probably had mixed emotions about her boy. They have been very close. He spent most of his time at his home during the holdout. And he's right where he should be, doing what he does better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Another couple of yards, clock continuing to move. And now Seattle will stop the clock with a timeout because the Rams, quite frankly, could have let it tick off 24 seconds right down to the 2-minute warning. Seattle did not want them to do that. So the Seahawks now have one timeout. They trail 28-17. You call that deep trouble. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. I'll ask you, Joe. Dieter Brock, first time you've seen him, at least live and in the flesh. What do you think?
Well, I have to see more. There's no doubt about Dieter's physical ability to throw the football. But a couple of times tonight he threw directly into the coverage, and to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, you consistently have to read those coverages, and Dieter's not at that point right now. I'm sure Dieter would be the first one to tell you that he doesn't want to throw into those coverages. He just got fooled a couple of times.
John Robinson, of course, has big plans for him. Likes him very much. Likes his guts, his courage, the way he handles the ball club. He's thrown 3 interceptions tonight, one of them taken in by Dave Brown for a touchdown.
Hey, you know, this NFL game is a tough one. These defenses in the NFL can be very confusing. We've seen veterans throw the ball directly into coverage over the years. Joe Theismann did it in the very first game this year with Dallas. They get fooled now and then. It's just going to take Dieter a while to get used to the NFL.
Seahawks down to one timeout. They are looking at a Rams offensive unit that has a 3rd down and 6 at Seattle's 32-yard line. And this crowd that had arrived so anticipating the 3rd win of the season on the season opener for the Seahawks here in Seattle has really quieted. Many of them have already left, as a matter of fact. We mentioned the Rams will be in Anaheim next Sunday for Atlanta. Seattle plays Kansas City next Sunday. We're going to see Seattle twice more. We'll see them November the 25th against the 49ers and December the 20th against Denver, and I'll bet they'll be in it. The Rams we have twice more. We have against San Francisco late December. We also have them final game of the season against the Raiders. Here's Dickerson once again. He needs 6 yards for the first. He's close to it in the arms of Terry Taylor.
That's sheer ability, Win. There was no hole. Eric was a 9.4 sprinter as a junior in high school, so he's probably a little faster than that now, and this is a speed first down. This is speed and a little strength there at the end.
And 2 years into tonight. 3,913 yards. Of course, they celebrated 2,105 a year ago to break your record, O.J., of 2003. Albeit he played in 2 more games than you. But combine the yardage, and he alternated with Craig James at SMU with the yardage as a Ram. 8,363 yards in 6 years. 3 years again.
Oh, boy. He's a pleasure to watch.
He just makes it fun, and he is tired now. Give me a break, Coach. Get me out of here. I've done everything you needed done.
You said you wouldn't run me the ball 6 or 7 times in a row.
You see him hold that finger up? That was it, John Robinson. Give me a breather, pal. 149 yards. He's worked out just a week. Had 2 contact plays and a scrimmage that John Robinson said he just held his breath and hoped nothing would happen. Robinson has come right out onto the field, and a very appreciative throng of Seahawks fans who have remained. They applaud the performance of Eric Dickerson. Charles White in now. Push the right side. White dancing and scooting. He's down to the 5-yard line. He fumbles. Ball's loose. And Seattle gets it back. But they will only have the 2-minute warning and 1 timeout to work with. And they trail 28-17. Not impossible. Certainly not probable. There's John Robinson. Came here 2 years ago. Taking the Rams to the playoffs on both occasions. Lost last year to the Giants. And they lost to Washington after 1983. And I think we might see Gail Gilbert, a rookie quarterback in California. No, he had his helmet on, was talking to Chuck Knox on the sidelines. But Dave Krieg, they're trying to make magic. And it won't be easy against a tough Ram defense. I'll give you all of those you want. We'll get the 2-minute warning. The Seahawks have 1 timeout. They have been played tough. It's Eric Dickerson on offense and a tough Ram defense tonight. Just an average day at the office.
Well, a great running team will wear you down. Most of those yards came here in the 4th quarter.
Credit a fine offensive effort by the line of the Rams without Dennis Howard tonight. Doug Smith, Kent Hill, Bill Bain, Jackie Slater, and Ross Bollinger filling in for the injured Dennis Howard. That's the time remaining in the game. Seattle trailing 28-17, deep in their own territory. 2nd and 10. That'll be picked off. And Johnny Johnson could take it all the way back. Johnny Johnson picks it off, takes it in. The Rams are on the scoreboard once again. And a tough night for Dave Krieg. 26-yard return of that interception for the touchdown.
Well, as Joe said earlier, what the Rams wanted to do most this year was improve that defense, get a pass rush, and cover a little better in the secondary, and they've certainly done it thus far this season.
Well, they're doing it, too, because they're healthy. Johnny Johnson missed most of last year, and then the part that he played with that bad ankle, broken ankle, he wasn't 100%. They got Nolan Cromwell back, O.J., and the 2 of them back there are a great combination of safety. And with Gary Green, one of the fine cornerbacks in the league, well, they're in pretty good shape.
Surprising that they have the pass rush when they lost their #1 sacker and Jack Youngblood from last year, retired.
Lansford with a conversion. And it is a very happy, jubilant Los Angeles Rams squad. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Chevrolet. See today Chevy, drive today Chevy, live today Chevy. And by light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by Midas, for expert service on mufflers, brakes, and shocks. Trust the Midas touch at over 1,400 locations in America. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Ron Ollie. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football produced by Bob Goodrich. Directed by Chet Forty. Technical director Joe Chabot. Associate Director Dick Buffington, Technical Manager Rick Mikulski, Unit Manager Marshall Lopez, Telecommunications Manager Hal Schmitz, assistants to the producer Amy Smolens and Chaz Wiseman, our assistant. In the booth, Jackie Harris. plus our spotter, Steve Mazika. Bill Cox is up here trying to keep track of what Eric Dickerson was doing. Steve Hurt supplies a lot of research and interesting and strange figures and numbers that he throws our way on occasion. Amazing what that computer will do when you get it smoking. Lansford to kick off. Morris and Green are deep. Lansford kicks it along the turf. Hughes has it. Another Mike Tice, and he brings it out over the 35 to the 37. And the Caravan continues to move on at a little bit of a slower pace than our Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday. Next week, we will be in Pittsburgh for the Bengals. As we look at a new quarterback, Gail Gilbert coming out, the rookie from California. It'll be the Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Gail is a promising young quarterback. He has good size at 6'3". They really like the way he throws the ball, so we'll see what the rookie has here for a while tonight.
Second leading all-time passer at California in their history. And this is, of course, his first shot at NFL football. They like it a lot up here. That's Byron Walker. They like him well enough to let a 5 or 6 year starter, Jim Zorn, go. He passed for over 6,500 yards and had 32 touchdowns at the University of California. He's big too, 6'3", 215. Well, the Rams will give them all of that they want. That is not going to hurt the Rams.
But what it might hurt is one of these wide receivers from the Seahawks. They're catching the short passes, and the Ram defenders are coming up and taking a good shot at them.
It's a good way to get a wrinkle in your frame, I'll tell you that. That one in particular. Byron Franklin. Keep it down low. You're going to throw it in my direction. Byron Walker doesn't want to be a hero. 56 seconds remaining.
Well, you know, if you're a Seahawk fan or a player or a coach, you have to figure that you really stopped yourself tonight. You know, they had a lot of dropped passes, some confusion with the receiver. I remember Largent was wide open, but he and Dave went on the same page. So I'm sure they feel like they can still beat anyone in this game. They just have to play together. Don't make the mistakes.
I was Barry Rett, number 30, talking with Eric Dickerson. He was great in preseason. As we look at Darrell Turner, stopping the clock with 51 seconds on the clock, the scoreboard clock. There is Largent. He appears to be all right. Somebody told us that he had broken a finger, which does not appear that he did. And also that he banged up his knee. I think if he got a little bit of tape on his finger, but I'll tell you, he is really one tough dude. If he broke it, he's got that Band-Aid on it. A lot tougher than I thought. He wound up 5 receptions on the night. 90 yards. Gilbert gets another completion as they continue to pound on the body of Byron Walker, the receiver.
Well, Joe, if you're a Ram fan, you got to be feeling pretty good. You made the playoffs last year. You are obviously a better football team this year. You're in first place. I guess they're thinking bring on the 49ers.
Well, the 49ers are a team to be reckoned with, that's for sure. They looked great against the Raiders yesterday.
We're going to see the Rams and 49ers in their second game on December the 9th. And then we'll watch the Rams against their crosstown rivals, the Raiders. Final game of our season, that'll be December the 23rd.
The way the Rams are playing, those appear to be big games by then. They may be playing for first place, the championship of the Western Division.
And you know, again, we mentioned it a couple times tonight. Dennis Harrer, the starting right guard, the leader of this offensive line for the Rams, is not in there tonight. They were still capable of moving the ball. Eric's first day back, well, that's mighty impressive. There's Dennis again. Doing a little coaching on the sidelines, I see, with big Jackie Slater.
He usually is in there side by side with Jackie Slater. They make a pretty formidable pair on the right side. Slater goes 270. He's 6'4". Dennis is 6'5", 270. No timeouts now for the Seahawks as they continue to look at Gail Gilbert, rookie from California, 3-year starter at Cal. Rams have deployed their 6 defensive backs. Don't let him have anything he wants underneath. He might try the big bend, just throw it down there. look for a defensive foul. Dale Turner, the Mr. Touchdown. They're going to call him around here. That's his 6th touchdown of the season. And for Gail Gilbert, that's quite a thrill. 28 seconds remaining. That was a 37-yard pass that was deflected into the arms of Gail Gilbert. He has now caught 16 touchdowns, and he is only in his 2nd year. Those are remarkable numbers for Gilbert, for Turner. Had a pretty spiral on it, Joe.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pass to throw on the run.
In and out of the hands of Gary Green. He was thinking interception, but right between his hands into the arms of Darrell Turner, who has caught 2 tonight for 2 touchdowns and 84 yards. Movement, and the flag is down.
Encroachment, number 69, defense, penalized on the kickoff.
Greg Meisner, who just reported after a lengthy holdout. Hey, if you're holding out on a team, when Eric Dickerson is holding out, nobody even knows it. You're trying to make a statement, you picked the wrong time to do it. Greg Meisner came in last Wednesday. Norm Johnson with the conversion. So, Gail Gilbert just threw one up for grabs in the end zone. Went through the arms of Gary Green, the Rams cornerback. And Darrell Turner got his 2nd touchdown of the night on his 2nd reception. There he is, 2nd-round draft pick last year from Michigan State. He has had a remarkable young career. He had 35 receptions last year as a rookie and 10 touchdowns. He caught 4 against San Diego last week.
Well, Seattle normally will dominate you defensively. I didn't think they played too bad tonight. It's just the Rams just wore them down eventually. I think the Rams are a much better football team than people may have given them credit to be coming up here.
You know, they're healthy this year. They were all mixed up last year. They had injuries, and Johnny Johnson broke an ankle in training camp. Andrews in and out of the lineup with injuries. Nolan Cromwell, his first injury of his career. But now they've got them all together. But you're right, Seattle, they're the ones that have to be concerned. They're ordinarily a very tough defensive unit. They've given up 94 points now in 3 games. They gave up 35 points to the Chargers, even though they beat them. They gave up 24 to Cincinnati, even though they won. This is going to be an onside kick, by the way. I mean, they're really hiding it, aren't they? Never seen it done this way.
There he goes.
Oh, what a gutsy move by Cromwell. 26 seconds, and 1 snap will do it because the Seahawks have no more timeouts. Again, a reminder, Monday night we'll be in Pittsburgh with the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Chuck Noll rebuilding. Sure, he was rebuilding. He was rebuilding last year, and he went all the way to the AFC Championship game. Cincinnati, they're getting a lot of points, 92 in 3 games. They need a victory if they're going to stay abreast of anyone in that Central Division. But quite a rivalry coming up your way a week from tonight. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's game. We've enjoyed watching Eric Dickerson. Good defensive performance by the Rams. And we're going to look forward to seeing both of these clubs 2 more times later in the season on a schedule that we think is one of the finest we've ever had on Monday night. Flag is down. 26 seconds remaining in the game. Fred Wyatt got busy here in the 2nd half.
Illegal procedure, number 79, interfered with the snap.
Now we need 1 snap, and this game is history. To the disappointment of a sellout crowd here in Seattle. Under the new rule, he does not even need to be touched once he goes down. And it is obvious that he is running out the clock. Well, you do not have to touch him. Eric Dickerson, fine night. And for Largent, 5 receptions, 94 yards. For John Robinson, his 3rd victory of the season. Only the Rams and the Chicago Bears remain undefeated in the National Football League. Once again, the Rams defeat Seattle 35-24. Our travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong for more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. We will see you next Monday night from Pittsburgh with the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. You're right, Eric. It was a great night.